Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about rounding some tricky numbers. This is part of 4.MBT3. If you would just follow along with me and try some of these practice problems in your math notebook, I think it would be pretty helpful. Okay, so when we're rounding numbers and they put 9 as one of the digits in the number, it starts to throw kids off a little bit because when you add one more to 9, that becomes 10. And so that means that you're moving into another place value. And so sometimes when you round it, more than one digit is going to change or a number will be added to the front. So I'm just going to give you some examples of those to help you understand. Okay, I just wanted to start with the basics, and that is just rounding 19. So of course I'm going to do the fish hook, and I see that it is a 9, and that means I add one more to my 1, and I know that rounding that to the nearest tens is going to be 20. Okay, that one's just easy, and we're going to just get a little bit harder as we go. So if you'll just copy these in or down and practice them, and then maybe pause the video, practice them, and then start the video up so you can compare numbers, that would be helpful. So for this number, we can see that we're rounding to the nearest tens place. Tens being, 80, 90, 100. So my choices for rounding this number are either going to be 90 or 100. So you kind of have to start thinking about that. So when I go next door, I see I have a 6. So that means I have to add one more to the 9. So that becomes 10. And then I put the 0 for the other place value. So rounding 96 to the nearest 10 is actually going to be 100. Okay. Next one, when I look next door here, I have an 8. I can see that I'm talking about rounding the hundreds place. So the hundreds that I can choose from are either going to be 900 or 1,000. Okay, so those are my only choices. So if I have 986, which 100 am I closer to? Well, we probably know that without having to do the strategy of the fish hook, that it's going to be 1,000. So 8 is telling me to add one more to the 9, so that becomes a 10. And then I'm going to add the 2 place values. So there I have 1,000. Okay. Next one down here, I'm rounding again to the hundreds place. So don't let these numbers in front fool you. You can always put your finger over them if you need to. But if I'm rounding to the hundreds place, my 2 choices for rounding here are going to be to go back to 3,900 or to add one more 100 to that, and that would bring me up to 4,000. Okay, so we can tell that what we're going to need to do, I'm going to do my fish hook. It's telling me to add one more. So if I add one more to this number and I add 10 to the number, I'm basically adding it on and adding it like that. So it's going to become 4, and then all of these behind become 0. Okay. The next one, I'm rounding this number, 9,657, to the thousands place. So my 2 choices for rounding to the thousands place are to go back to 9,000 or to go forward to 10,000. Those are my 2 choices. So when I do the fish hook, it tells me that it's a 6. So that means I'm going to have to add one more. So that 9 becomes a 10, and then I need to put in the 3 place values. So it's going to be rounded to 10,000. Okay, a couple more practice with larger numbers. Okay, when I look here, I'm looking at the 10,000s place. So I know that my choices are either going to be to round it to 90,000 or to round it up to 100,000. And that's because tens go to 100, like 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 is counting by tens. Okay, so I see that I draw my fish hook. It's a 5. I'm going to add one more so that 9 becomes a 10. And then I'm going to put the zeros for all the place values. Okay. Next one, 98,631 rounded to the nearest 10,000s place. So my choices again here are going to be 90,000 or 100,000. Those are going to be my 2 choices. When I do the fish hook, it's an 8. So the 8 tells me I need to add 1 to the 9. So the 9 becomes a 10. Then I have to put in all the zeros for the place values behind. Everything behind becomes a 0. Okay. Down here to this one, I have 196,525. I'm rounding it to the nearest 10,000s place value. So that means my choices are going to be 190,000 or they're going to be 200,000. Those are my two choices. Okay, when I draw my fish hook, it says that I have a 6, so I need to add one more. So when I add one more to that place value, this becomes a 2, and everything behind it becomes a 0. Okay, because I added that 10 up here. I added the other 1 to the next column. So that became a 2, and then everything behind becomes a 0. All right, so these are kind of tricky numbers with the 9s in them. You just got to kind of take a deep breath and take it one step at a time. Please let me know if I can help you, talk you through it again, and you can always watch this video more than once if that helps you as well. All right, thank you. Bye.